Okay. Let's switch something more chill. We're here. We're live. And we are ready for the Keyforge Team League Grand Final Adaptive Match. Let's turn this music down a little bit so we can chill, listen to the vibes. It's gonna be a fun, casual night tonight. But tonight, or today, or this morning, wherever you're from, we have Quickdraw facing up against Not2night. We had Not2night last week in the semi-final. She didn't win that game, but it proves just why it's called a team league, because it's not about individual performance, it's about the team's performance. And even though she lost, her team won, not carried her to the end, but you know what I mean. And she resulted in one team from Sloppy Lab Work versus the other team from Sloppy Lab Work. What is this? What? This team is the GOAT of team leagues, man. Meticulous plazing. I can't say it. I'm really bad at this. But on that team, we have Not2night, Crusader, and JT Russell. And on the Sloppy Lab Work team, we have Quickdraw, B-Hawk, and JDG. The game will be fairly soon, hopefully. The problem is that they said it was at 9:30 p.m., which is my time right now, and it looks like they're coming on soon. But while we wait, while we get the vibe going, let's check out these decks, hey? Let's check out these decks. So if I remember correctly, it's this one. There you go. So we have the same deck we saw last week, Dranzed. I can't say this deck's name, but the KTL, I can't really say it. I don't know I don't know why I keep putting an accent on it. It doesn't make any sense to me. So, but some notable things that we saw from this deck is that even though it's got large Amber control, it's got large Amber control cards like Tribute and Crassosaurus. They are momentary things that can be protected by warding. It does have a lot of artifact control, which is sketchy into any deck that can't handle that much artifact control. And then obviously we see the things like the double Ed-Eye, Tatao, Knowledge's Power. They can burst in different ways. I know it says only 19, but it does definitely felt like it did a little bit more. Those Cutthroats are probably gonna, that Cutthroat is going to do a bit more damage, knowing that cards like Crassosaurus and Tribute are in play. They got a notification. And then the other deck, while they load up, just talking about the decks. We have Guadalupe, the periodically spiky. This is Quickdraw's deck. Dark Tidings, DT best set, DT represent. Well, as we can see, I haven't seen this deck in this format before. I know that it's been favored heavily by Quickdraw. He knows how to play it very well. Some obviously notable things that I want to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about the 18 pips and 18 creatures. So it's very proactive in different ways. The final analysis can be a little scary with a Data Forge if it happens. Especially when there's 18 creatures. If this is correct, yeah, Mecha Boy Tide Warp. That combo is one of my favorites. Like, hands down, I love that combo. This is a really cool deck. With cards like Ulfbert Device to slow down draws, especially in a deck that really tries to punish with some Saurians here and there from Drazd. And then Thin the Herd to remove some of the... Or probably not remove, actually, because there's a lot of small creatures in this deck. Relatively small. But definitely some Amber Burst with Chelonia, Deep Waters, and Witch of the Dawn. Really trying to min-max your setup turns so that you can make sure that you get the most out of each turn, out of the bigger turns. So it's a payoff deck. At least that's what I believe it is from what I'm looking at it. It's trying to set up for some strong turns, which is definitely a good strategy and adaptive. It's favored by the player who knows how to play the deck because they know exactly what lines help them to get to those positions. Oh, it's got a static collection array as well. With Mecha Boy and Tide Warp, that's pretty cool. And Hydro Cataloger. There's some really annoying Tide shenanigans here. Okay, but... Sorry, I've been talking really quickly because their game is up and ready to go. Let me just turn this music down just a tad. And then we'll get into this game. Time for a beach day. Oh, okay, let's go. Suave's gonna watch this game too. I didn't get a, I can't believe you're awake as well. Isn't it like much earlier for you compared to Quickdraw? Or are you guys on relatively the same time zone? If I have to go get some water at some stage just because I've been unwell for a few days and still recovering. Oh, I'm ready. Let's go. I am ready. I don't know any results so far. Okay. Hopefully the sound quality is good on your end. Music. I don't like having my music very loud when I try to talk. It doesn't allow me to think too much. If that makes sense. Okay. So we talked about the decks. So let's get this thing going. Pretty excited for this game. There's some lovely people. Very competitive. Quickdraw, I'm pretty sure got second in the adaptive Kagi event. So Keyforge's Garfield Intended, which happened about a month ago, the grand final. And he got, I think, second place. No problem. This is like my time zone, so why not cover it, right? Theory or conjecture, getting the two archives there, setting up again. As I said before, I feel like Guadalupe is all about payoff turns, trying to set yourself up for those bigger turns and getting value and pushing, not necessarily trying to react too much to the opponent because it doesn't have a lot of creature control or it does have some air control. It doesn't have a lot of creature control. The infighting, and Thinner Herb and Techno Babble are kind of the big toys here. Final Analysis can be a little scary. Actually, now that I think about it, Final Analysis isn't so bad if the opponent's got a bunch of warding. So you can probably still gain value out of that. But yeah, really trying to set up so to make sure that the Thin the Herd can... I feel like there is going to be some sort of turn that turns up where they got Thin the Herd to get rid of some small things to then infighting to make sure though the board is really messy when the infighting comes along. Especially when you've got cards like right now, you can see that Not Tonight clearly is... I don't know if clearly, but it looks like she's set up the smaller creature on that left side to make sure that it doesn't necessarily die from the engineer straight away, if the infighting ever comes in the right time. There we go. Technobabble already getting rid of some of that really scarce C, but perhaps making sure that Not Tonight doesn't have a house to go back into, making handcrafting a little difficult, but not so difficult if it doesn't end up being that way anyway. Ulfbert Device already setting up some of that control. The good thing about Ulfbert Device is it's kind of like a secret creature control. It stops the opponent from just playing a big board and then using it straight away. And it also limits heavily in the handcrafting department. So if Quickdraw can play around that pretty well, then I think there is quite an interesting set of board that we'll see from these two decks. Not Tonight getting out a Tribute, an Imperium, and a City-State Interest. I feel like the Imperium is going to be pretty valuable in this deck, in this matchup, allowing things to stick a bit longer. Unfortunate that it's on some stun creatures, which kind of defeats the purpose of, not necessarily of the ward at the moment. It'll be better in the long run, but it also gives Quickdraw a little bit of time to find some answers if he needs them. Within the herd, I wonder if playing a card like the Shield You Later becomes problematic. Unless, like, he can get enough small creatures out, like right now, then, yeah, it's not a problem. Especially when draws, if I look at the creatures, there's really only a few creatures that have 3 or lower power. Is that correct? No, there's a fair amount, actually. More than I expected. If Not Tonight can get a really strong Shrik's turn that is also warded, then it could really do some damage to Quickdraw's game plan. Especially if they don't ever play... Oh, wow. Are we setting up for a red alert? Is that what we're doing here? Sorry, I shouldn't get rid of that all the time. I guess because it's life, the Quintrino Flux. Yeah, there it is. It's all bat powers. So if they can get rid of 2 and 3, there we go. Look what just as I was saying it. And then Tachyon Pulse. Tachyon Pulse, a bit of a misplay. Not misplay, because you're not going to use the Sanitation Agent anyway, but yeah, don't worry. I'm just thinking out of my ears, if that makes sense. Nice submissive turn principle, taking Not Tonight off check, playing that Logos turn that we were kind of waiting for. Draws back up to 5. The risk of playing Logos at that moment is that you see how there's a muddied archive of equal cards. You would think that normally that is a really good thing. From my personal experience, I have found that if I have a muddied discard pile, then my hand is often a little muddy too, even if I draw a whole new hand. So we might see, he's only got 5 cards. If he's got a 2/2/1, he's going to be a little bit unfortunate. Maybe that's okay because we got this Mecha Boy combo going, and it does set him up perhaps for now a Star Alliance turn after we've just seen Untamed and Logos. But yeah, unsure. This lack of creature control from Quickdraw's perspective isn't actually terrible now that I think about it, because it's only 14 creatures. And the creatures haven't been coming out in the way that I think Not Tonight was hoping. That is definitely a game plan to try to win this matchup, is to just spit out creatures. There you go. Look, I said Star Alliance was coming, didn't I? Played 3 Star Alliance creatures. Technobabble again to stun those Logos. It didn't matter now because... Oh, there's no Ulfbert device anymore. What am I thinking? So it doesn't matter about the ordering of houses anymore. It's just trying to set up for handcrafting. Then I reckon his turn was a 3/1/1. Because if it was a 2/2/1, I wouldn't have gone Star Alliance there. Obviously, he's played 3 cards. If it was a 3/2, I still don't know if I would have gone Star Alliance there, because unless the other cards are specifically creature control cards. Because the archive is the disc. It's just gonna keep getting muddier and muddier. But we'll see. Muddier? That's not even a word, is it? More muddy? Extra muddy? Extra sloppy? For those sloppy lab work fans. Nice tribute there. Behind a ward is pretty powerful. Especially on a 5-powered creature with 4 creatures on the board being affected by Thin the Herd. This music is like... It's from the Wild Glide Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 2. We've gone for some Mario themes today. Because why not? Mario's cheery chap. Mookling here to take Not Tonight off check. Deepwater Gruin getting quick draw that 2 pips. And then using Miliobi to fight and remove that ward from Tricerian Legionary while also enraging the Engineer and the Legionary. It's that Engineer is so affected by tokens right now. It's an extra 1 power and an armor for the Light of the Archons. It's got 7 amber on it that's been captured, a ward, an enrage, and a stun. It's never gonna use its effect. Red alert here, killing the Mookling and then dealing, and the Miliobi, but only doing 2 damage to the other 3 creatures. Tachyon Pulse, exhausting that Engineer, making it even harder to be played. But the Tachyon Pulse is really strong into that Mecha Boy. This is a really tough matchup for Guadalupe but I also, yeah, especially with all this warding, I think it's a really tough matchup if Not Tonight can keep capturing and buffing these cards to make it even harder for them to die. Even when I said earlier, I said that putting that 2-powered creature next to the Engineer was setting up to stop the infighting, which is doing brilliantly, by the way, because even if the Jargoggle gets stuffed back into the deck. Oh my gosh, look at the Voltron. The Sloppy Lab Work crew just talked about Voltron decks like 3 weeks ago. Now Not Tonight showing off just how powerful Voltron can really be. For those that don't know, Voltron is a creature with a lot of upgrades on it, typically with a card like Light of the Archons to really boost its power for every single upgrade that's on it. It's so different. It's so different watching this deck play last week as it did this week, because it's just such a different style right now. Like going for this sort of creatures heavily warded that can't necessarily be dealt with. Although leaving that Volmart, which is not something that they really had much of a choice on, perhaps, okay, here we go. This is a really interesting turn. I almost think I would have put the draw upgrade on top of the Valmart so that the Tachyon Pulse can exhaust the Valmart and I get full value for that key. I know it's a weird play, and I know the line is to probably go for the Voltron because it sets up to save all that Amber on there because she's thinking about the long play. But she also lost 3 Amber in the process. So it's about the give and take in this game is what I would say. Giving that they're giving that 1 extra power, 1 extra armor. Was that making that creature more protected worth 3 Amber? And that's the kind of lines that I like to think about in this game, is like, if I did something else, what is the payoff for it, and how does that limit what I'm currently doing? Wow. Changing the tide to hide? No. Changing the hide? Changing the tide to hide? Changing the tide to hide? You know what I meant. Oh. Tricerian Legionary fighting off that Valmart. Putting out that Senator Strix. There's not any way for the Senator. Imagine if the Senator was here. Now that would be insane. That would be value. Oh, okay. So the reason that they went and put Paraguardian on the end instead of in the middle is because they're trying to play around that infighting. Even though it looks like it's the wrong choice because you want to get the most value out of the warding here, it's stopping the infighting from doing the most damage. Especially with how close Quickdraw is back into the deck. Whoa. Final analysis here. It does let Not Tonight draw how many cards did it say? It said she drew, is it 4 cards? Yep, 4 cards. No, 5 cards because she had a chain. And then Quickdraw drew 4. Is that valuable, knowing how many logos cards you played? You played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. 6, 7. Yeah, only getting 1 more card. The final analysis was probably used, was definitely used more for the creature control than for the getting the value out of the draw. And this logo's turn of the Hydro Cataloger and the Tide Warp is setting up to get lots of archives. However, that's also very beneficial for Not Tonight with her double Edi and double Tao Tao and Knowledge is Power. Man, these decks just have like really interesting connections, like of what one can do to the other. The question is, does she just make him pay 9? Or does she believe that she can make him pay a lot more, especially if he has to kill off that sanitation engineer? Because there's likely we're going to see an infighting. It's also likely that we're going to see a thin the herd. Playing the mini group think tank there and then an Edi is a good choice because that thin the herd prevents the thin the herd. Oh, but the zap, is that gonna kill? No, the thin the herd can't kill the engineer if she has Edi. Although, did she? She doesn't have Edi because she hasn't played any yet. Did she play a second Tao Tao earlier? I can't remember exactly. Titan Guardian there. And then this second Edi. Oh, that's kind of set up perfectly for Thin the Herd. Knowledge is Power, though. Which won't get her to check because of the Tide Warp into Hydro Cataloger. The Thin Herd does put the Titan Guardian next to the... Unless I haven't seen it. Have I already seen it? No, Thin Herd is very, very, very impactful here. Although... No, not although. Yeah, it's very impactful. I think she's playing more around the infighting than she is playing around Thin the Herd. If Quickdraw has both, then it's just a race to that final key from both players. Oh, we haven't seen Crassosaurus. She redrew, so we know it's in her hand. And she went to 7. So the Thin the Herd is going to be protected. The Thin the Herd's going to kill off the 3... It's not kill, but shuffle those 4 creatures back in the deck. Witch of the Dawn to bring back. Unless she doesn't have it. Deep Water Growing. Deep Water Growing. Deep Water Growing. Wow. All tied up. No way. He doesn't have either. You let him forge. There's no way you don't. You just use logos here. And you fight with Titan Guardian. Oh, it doesn't matter that much, actually, because in the herd's still a problem. Oh, he didn't draw Thin the Herd or in fighting there. There's no way, like, you don't take her off check. Sorry. She shouldn't take him off check. Submersive is accounted for. Right there. And there's 100%. You 100% let her. 100% let her forge. I'll let him forge. Yeah, that's massive. Massive. Jug Goggle here, even. No, you stole. She stole. There's no way I would do that. I mean, you know what? No. It's fine. It's fine. She's not trying to dominate the game. She's just trying to win the game. 13 Amber. Like, there is not a lot that Quickdraw can do in this situation. If he doesn't have the creature control, like, that's just it. Like, that's so unlucky because there's 2 cards left in the draw. Look. Yeah, I would have been very tempted. Like, I don't know. I would have gone for not played it because of that. Because now you're forcing. Oh, but okay. Guadalupe has an Edai that hasn't been played. So we haven't seen that yet. What else is there? That Xeno training and the Valmart's gone. So that should be it. There's no other way to archive right now, is there? Sorry, I need to check. Bilge Warden's gone. Crassasaurus, wow. Oh yeah, we forgot there is a Crassasaurus too. That can do a lot. So we're not actually, like, look, it was the right choice because I forgot that Crassasaurus was there. Wow. 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 Nothing. What is this music, man? I do not enjoy Animal Crossing at all. I'm sorry for the diehard fans out there. Yeah, you know what? She made all the right calls. I would have been so tempted just to let that Amber go. But it did, look, she is exactly 2 Amber, which is the one she stole, and 1 extra. Yeah, she wouldn't have forged, so it was the right call. Did I just get kicked out of the game? Yep. Where is this music on? Good music. Yeah, I agree. Big brain. Why can't I watch this game? Is it just not loading? Refresh. I love TCA sometimes. Oh. KTL. Watch. Is it maybe just not loading on this? It's not on my end, but it's loading on the server. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That password seemed to have worked, so refresh. It says, okay, so he's saying I was in. Okay. Okay. So. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Well, I'll let you know what we missed. So we missed Paraguardian turn 1 from Quickdraw, which is high value we've learned in this game. And then Not Tonight to immediately responded with a board of 3 Star Alliance creatures. And now we're at Logos with a Tau Tau, followed by a Group Think Tank. Killing off that Shield You Later. And then playing a Jar Goggle, getting a nice card underneath to end the turn, most likely. There we go. How does this board does it become an issue this time around? Both players playing some really odd decks, which is kind of, the point of adaptive. You want to play a little bit of odd, but not so much odd that those that the draws just become wacky and weird. But what is the sloppy lab work you like to use? They like to use peppers. How many peppers? The number of peppers. Is it like a 3 pepper range? Is that what these decks are at? 3 peppers? Is that a nice range for adaptive? Maybe a 2? I don't know. Just talking at it. Can tell I'm a regular listener to the Sloppy Lab Work podcasts. Check them out at Sloppy Lab Work on Spotify. I don't know where else they listen to it, but that's where I listen to it. Listen to Sloppy Lab Work on Spotify. I expect payment, advertisement payment. Sorry, let's focus on the game. It is the grand final after all. Titan Guardian is played out after we just played a Logos turn, so we're getting that handcrafting really strong now because there's got the card underneath Jar Goggle, and we have an Ed-Eye out on the board that archives even another card. The question is, what kind of cards do you archive? Playing Saurian's turn 1 tells me that the cards that have been archived are Star Alliance cards. Probably cards that never need to come out unless, set up for a nicer, stronger turn. I think that's one way to play this sort of deck, is that these Star Alliance cards, aren't necessarily value in your hand, right? They're value in a long game. And so, yes, people would think, oh, you should archive the tributes. But I like to archive these sorts of cards because, the creature control and the artifact control, because I can always still take them off check with Saurians and Logos at the same time. Okay, then we got All Tied Up, played Miliobi, and then we've got a Deep Water Gruin. So All Tied Up allows for the tide to go high on Not Tonight's side, which allows the Mecha Boy to be available. Look, if he doesn't draw his archives now that I've just talked about Star Alliance, then then the cards that are in the archives are most likely Saurians. Or like I said before, I think they're still Star Alliance cards because they're creature control, like Red Alert, and we're in round 2. This is round 2 of game 2 of the adaptive match of the Keyforge Team League between Not Tonight and Quickdraw. This is, I'm not going to be able to say this correctly, but Meticulous Plazing, or Meticulous Plazing. I can't. Why did you do this to me? Anyway, Meticulous, yep, versus Sloppy Lab Work. Both Sloppy Lab Work teams showing off that they are the best team at team events. Just leagues above everyone else. Both in the grand final. How can that not be absolute proof of how good they are as a team? Super sloppy. So who won the first game? The first game was won by Not Tonight. Completely controlled the crap out of Quickdraw's Amber and made it really difficult for him to burst into this game. So now it's we switch decks, and and we're seeing Not Tonight here in a bit of a strong position on the amber control side of things. However, Guadalupe doesn't have a lot of creature control. We've already seen one Technobabble. That's a second Technobabble, a Thin the Herd, and an Infighting. There is also creatures that she can fight with, but this Ed-Eye is really sticky if there is warding available, and if it... Although, he did put it next to a 5-powered creature, which doesn't make any sense with Infighting. I think perhaps he wants to put something next to Paraguardian that's pretty strong. Who knows? This music, though, is kind of annoying me. Chill music. I'll just switch to something chill. Like jazz. Oh, there's an ad. Not a sponsor. There we go. Even better. Welcome Dynabot into the stream. We got the, as I was just saying, we got this grand final of the Keyforge Team League between Not Tonight and Quickdraw, demonstrating their absolute dominance as adaptive players. I actually did say earlier, I said earlier that even though we saw Not Tonight lose on stream last week in the semi-finals, the team won the rest of the games and made it to the grand final, which shows that it's not just individual performance that matters, because it's a team event. And that's just kind of the beauty of this sort of format. Something that I've really missed in the old days of, not old days, the days of COAT that we used to have. I used to have some really fun teams. I did join a team event once with Karen. She organized it, and I got to play with my good friends Medaps and June, and we made it all the way to the grand final. I was undefeated the whole time, and we still lost the grand final, which was sad. But I believe it, like I'm saying now, that it's a team event, so you lose as a team, you win as a team. And Sloppy Lab Work and Meticulous Plazing have won as a team, as a whole team even, because they're all from the same team, really, like a competitive team, the Sloppy Lab Work. What a sloppy crew. So we have Quickdraw there playing as Zap, killing off the Ed-Eye, I believe, is that what we just saw? Correct. We're killing off the Ed-Eye, and then aiming to probably fight off that Valmart here, and then use the Medic Ingram to, I would say, ward that Ed-Eye while it's safe. Oh, Quintrino Flux. To kill, what, 5 and 2? No? Is my game just behind? Oh, no, because you were triggering a Jug Goggle. That's what was happening. Plays a Force Field onto the Arms Master Melina. Going to ward the Melina. And going to ward the, probably, no, the Paraguardian here. The trick, though, is that Not Tonight now has a Valmart on the board that she can use. Depends if she played Star Alliance last turn. She did play Star Alliance last turn, so I guess he's hoping that she doesn't have cards in hand to go into, so it kind of can force that, force the turn in Quickdraw's favor to make it Not Tonight play a suboptimal turn. The risk of that, though, is that if you go that route, if you try to force those routes, in my experience, often they do have cards in those houses. And they, yep, she's playing Star Alliance. If she plays at least 2 cards, then she's gotten to Handcraft at the same time as just eliminating that 3 amber from Quickdraw. Playing an Ulfbert device after she's just played Star Alliance 2 turns, meaning she doesn't need to play Star Alliance for a couple of turns, forcing Quickdraw to try to handcraft while only playing 2 cards. And since the Tachyon Pulse are currently in Star Alliance cards, they can't kill off these Star Alliance turns because he just played Star Alliance. Just if that all made sense, saying the same word over and over. Gaining a lot of value out of that Valmart, really pushing to eliminate that 3 Amber. Quickdraw here playing Logos. We haven't seen Logos for a couple of turns because he's been gaining value. Yes, there's Logos cards here, but they were on the board, and I'm pretty sure we haven't seen it since about turn 2. So I'm expecting a decent sized turn here. Exhaust the midi group think tank, reaps with the Edi. Plays a Sanitation Engineer, which we saw was a crucial card in the game 1. And the second Edi here. Plays Wild Wormhole into the Thorium Plasmate, really gaining value out of this Ulfbert device, making it not really much of a problem. What beautiful plays. Yes, that was a lucky play. Well, lucky play per se. Yes, that was a nice play from the Wild Wormhole, but seeing both players really taking advantage of this Ulfbert, could not ask for something any better than this in the grand final of the adaptive game. Did you just move the Miliobi to the left side? Oh, what a nice idea. He's playing the Miliobi to make sure this infighting that not2night's looking to play, going to kill that Valmart. Interesting. Opting for not doing damage here really sets up. And here's the Untamed turn that we were expecting. Haven't seen Untamed turn since about turn 3, I think it was. Thin the Herd here takes advantage of all the low-powered creatures on Quickdraw's side, getting rid of both Edis, the midi group think tank, and the medic Ingram, allowing her Amber to be at 10 with only a key cost of 5, probably forcing Quickdraw to either go for some sort of play with Crassosaurus or having to take the Tide here. The good thing is that he played Logos last turn, so it's not like it's too much of a problem in his hand. We're likely going to be seeing either a Saurian's turn here, or maybe a sub-optimal Star Alliance turn. Although I doubt the Star Alliance turn's going to come after playing Star Alliance 2 turns ago. My prediction is the Saurian's turn here. Although, leaving just one of each creature. Now that is how you play a card like Chelonia. You play it, take advantage, out of the fact that it's elusive, setting up for only one of each house, forcing the opponent to need either a Radiant fight or some form of creature control. I believe we haven't seen the Phalanx Strike. The Phalanx Strike is kind of the main sort of answer to that Chelonia. Otherwise, not2night's just going to really start to race here. Remember how earlier I talked about the archives, that there's 3 of those, and he hasn't taken them since. Are those the Saurian's cards that we've been looking for? My goodness, how do you even decide this kind of turn? If he can get one more Amber on the board, then he can kill both the Chelonia and the Valmar. One more creature. Oh, he's deciding the archives of whether to pull them or not. I think this is really tricky because I would say there is an important Amber control. This is why I was saying earlier, right? That I usually don't like to put Amber control cards into my archives when I've got an Edi deck. Because I've got a card with Edi, because I want to get value out of the Edi if I get it back, or if it gets shuffled or returned back to my hand. I just want to be a bit more flexible with my turns. And he does pull the archive. That was the decision that was causing him to take a bit of time there. Maybe we see, I would say we see a fair bit of Amber control, some creatures, and the Phalanx Strike. Oof. Small victory making him take the archives. I agree. I think that setting up... Oh, and deciding whether to play So Salt. I think that the reason that he's okay with playing So Salt there is because he's not going to reap with the Saurian's card. He's actually going to fight with it. Oh my gosh. Stupid ads. I need to get an ad blocker. My ad blocker stopped working. Ooh, Tri-Syrian Legionary playing to ward the Senator Shrix here. Capturing 4 amber, capturing 8 total amber, but exalting twice. Does he have the Phalanx Strike though? Because that is so crucial. Odoak. Perfect. What a nice turn. I think it was the right call to pull those archives, even though he really wanted to gain the value over the Edai turn later. Because you don't even think he's played Knowledge of Power either. Yeah. That was definitely small victories here. Oof. But you're going to leave the Chelonia. What a nice line that Not Tonight went for. Really taking advantage of making sure there's one of each creature. Setting up so that Chelonia, it has to have a force reaction. And since we saw Starline's turn before, there's not a lot of creature control in Logos, I believe, besides the mini Griefing Tank, which we saw was gone. The Thorium Plasmate we saw was gone. Yep. So it was literally only Phalanx Strike that could have dealt with that turn, dealt with that Chelonia. So if Not Tonight can play a bunch of creatures and kill the board, then this game is a race to the end. Very, very tough position here. Submersive Principle, nice Submersive Principle. Only losing 2 amber, but making Quickdraw lose 3. Ooh, archiving with the Theory of Conjecture. That is a good call, because that sets up for the Edai. Unfortunate that it's a random play, so you might accidentally archive your own Edai, which makes it... Ooh, Final Analysis! How do you kill that Melina though, right? Thin the Thin the herd's gone. There's no crit control left. There is none. Like, in fighting, like, they have to make a mistake. You're gonna have to fight in a way. Whoa, I love that line with Bilge Warden. Because you don't matter, it's not a problem if you play it, because you're gonna get the Tide Warp the next turn. Although, Star Alliance is now available. He just drew 4 cards. The likelihood that Quickdraw has Tachyon Pulse is pretty high. 1, 2, 3, 4 Star Alliance, 5, 6, 7 Star Alliance cards. It also gives you the chance to buff this Arms Master Melina even higher. Oh, I see. You have to kill off that Novu. Because the Novu allows Not Tonight to archive the creature control back. Just thinking through his turn. Oh, that's so tricky. So, he's in the same sort of position he was before. Does he take Not Tonight off check? So it's a different scenario, right? So before, okay, he's going Star Alliance, but before the decision was tricky because he was deciding if he could use the value out of the Edeyes. This decision here was, I need to protect this Amber instead of taking Not Tonight off check. So Not Tonight's going to get the key, but the creature's even more protected. Especially if you can reap here to force field and then stun that Novu. Because of the Ulfbert device, it's three more turns before you can gain value off it. My goodness. That Ulfbert is so deadly. Because you've got to stun it, right? So if you stun the card, they can't use it next turn because they just called Logos. So that's one turn. You can call it the turn after that to unstun it. Sorry, I said 3 turns? I meant 4 turns. Because you called Logos again, so you can't call Logos because of the Ulfbert. So then the 4th turn to archive. 4th turn. I don't know why I did like that. I don't count like that. 4 looks nice. Anyway, 4 turns before you can archive a creature control card. So you're better off just going for the best line to draw through the deck. Such a tough position. How do you even know what to call? Hey, thank you. I like that, using late speak for your name, JT Russell, but in late speak, what a legend. Oh, but now you just left them with the Tachyon Pulse. That was doing such good value for you. Oh, I would have left that. Although, okay, it was the right call because it stops this Tide Warp shenanigans. It stops, so it means that Not Tonight has to find a way to take the Tide again. It stops the Static Collection Ray problems. But man, that Ulfbert was doing such good value. Because you've pretty much played all your Star Alliance cards. I know that you want to play Star Alliance again. I loved it. That was such a cool line. But that's okay. I think it was a good call. Playing for the longevity of the game. Taking Quickdraw off check. Okay, let's count how many cards are left. There's still an Untamed turn. Oh, there's still a really good Untamed turn. Oh, not off check because the Strix. Good line. That was kind of a checkmate position for that key. So, what we haven't seen yet, we haven't seen a massive Untamed turn. So what I'm expecting the Witch of the Dawn, to bring back the Chelonia, to then play the other Gruin that they haven't played yet. Actually, wait a second. Does that get enough amp? Is it not better to bring back the other Gruin? The dice was usually better for Drunk. Yeah, that's why I was wondering why he killed it. Look at that. See, I observe from what I'm observing. Without testing the decks, I feel like I've just like tasted some good water. Look, this is a really interesting game though. Knowledge's power here, gaining a few extra amber. So I'm really curious as to how much these decks get tested. Drunst is the better deck, I would say, for this matchup. But I think the third game is really tricky to know what chains to take. Because the beautiful part about what Quickdraw just did, whether the Ulfbert was better, was he did that turn while he had the high tide. Meaning that, and yes, the biome discovery isn't a strong card. It did force some efficiency to be taken away. And I think that was why he went for that line. Because he had a tide. So yes, the Ulfbert was better for him, but on that circumstance, it ended up being a stronger turn. What's scary is that you know what's left. There's an Edeye left. There is a Crassosaurus left. There is a city-state interest left. I think there's a tribute too. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I think it's only like, I honestly think there's only 4 chains in it. I could see 6 chains going though. Nice turn. Really setting her up for the Witch of the Dawn play. The question is, and I'm curious by this, do you bring back Chelonia or do you bring back Ruin? This game is not over by any means. I think 4 chains. Oh, it's so tricky here because... Oh, I love the ad. It's so tricky here because... Like, for Quickdraw, he can't... He can force this line, right? This line... he went for the Logos. The line I want him to play is I wanted him to go Saurians and Reap and Exalt and then play City State and Exalt and put the Amber on top of the Sendistrix, because that way he gains 3 Amber. Oh, he fought an elusive card. Because then he puts 3 Amber onto the Shrix, and there is no way for not2night to get it. That should have... Actually, I think that's game. I think that would have been game. Reap. Puts 2 Amber onto Shrix because of the City State. Probably gains an extra Amber from another tribute left. Puts him... Oh, but it's the Edeye. No. We haven't seen this. The Fallon Strike, right? Oh, I think I would have gone Saurians. I think Saurians was guaranteed game. Reap, Exalt. Oh, that's nice though. Reap, Exalt. So that's 2. Fallon Strike. That's a 2nd Amber. A 3rd Amber. 4th Amber, because you got another Amber onto Strix and 1 Amber for the pit, and you kill off one of the Logos cards. So that's 5 Amber with... And then City State. So there's 3 Amber on Strix. So there's about 7 Amber total that he could have gained in Saurians. Although, you know what? Okay. The Logos happened anyway. Look at me, like, doing all this counting and all this... whatever. Look, I still think that Saurians was the right call. Because, how do you do this? well, we can work out what's left. Is there a Logos card left or a cut through? No, that's game. That's game, right? There's no way. There's no cards. Like, Submersive's gone. There's no way to archive because there's no draw, so you can't archive with Hydra Cataloger. There's no capture left. We can have a look at Guadalupe. Mukling. Ah, but it's perfectly outside the range. Good turn. That Logos turn was enough. So he didn't need to get a Saurian's line. Either house. I'm still set that he could have done it in Saurians. With the Phalanx Strike, the City-State Interests, and the Reap. Because he started the turn. I'm curious how much that actually ends him at what he ends at. Yeah, he starts Ember 3 Amber. Reap 1. Exalt 1. City-State on the Strix 1. Phalanx Strike 1 for the Pip, 1 for the Exalt, another for the kill. So that's... Wait, what? Didn't we see a Witch of the Dawn? Where's the Witch of the Dawn? Oh, you have to archive. Oh, that's so rude. Oh, that's so rude. Yeah, I didn't think there was enough. So that's 6 in Saurians. Puts him at 9. And 2 of it stuck underneath. 3 of it stuck underneath the Strix. Yeah, I think I would have. And gone, taken the extensive. That was my line. I would have liked it. Would have been cool. But the Logos line was also the right choice. 20 chains. 6. I don't think there's going to be many chains at all. They've played this before. That's what I'm curious about. Just be here. Does... No, owner of deck... Oh, yeah, that's... Yeah. Game 3. I honestly don't see it going past 6. I said 4 originally. But I've been surprised. I've seen... Maybe we get some hype... You know, maybe we get some hype music. Like... I'm thinking Celeste. I know it's not quite hype, but it's pretty good. Yes, stuff that one. 7? Sorry, what? 7? Here. I say that's a mistake. No way. What? Oh, I guess there's Muff Amber. In before 8. 8. 8. 8. Let's get the music. I love this. First Steps is a good one. The music's loud. Tell me if it's too loud. I'm so disappointed. We tested up to 10. Okay. I just think you can guess without a key cheat. This is the first game, right? But it's not. We haven't seen any other games being played. I've only commentated on adaptive games so far. Not intentional. I just pick up the slack. Pick up the slack, fellas. No. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You guys are all lovely people. And I'm so glad I have a team that's been this helpful. I really, yeah, I wasn't thinking, I still think 6, like, I know you said you tested up to 10. I guess Strands was always kind of in control, even when it wasn't, like, too much. Again, this is why I don't play adaptive. I'm not an adaptive player. I used to be. I used to be a great adaptive player. I made it to my first KFPL when I was nobody knew who I was. Made it all the way until like top 16 of the KFPL, something like that. Yeah, that's why yeah. But yeah, no, I made it to the top 16 of my first KFPL. First crashed into the scene. It's like, look, he's an Australian. That was fun. That was fun times. It was kind of like you bring 3 decks and you pick one at the start of the match and you play adaptive with it. Or maybe you ban a deck and then you play adaptive with one of the last 2. It was something like that. It was something weird, a little bit different, but it was pretty cool because it meant I got to play my Worlds Collide deck a fair amount, which was a Legacy Speed Sigil deck. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. But I sold it. I'm so sad. Sorry, I'm just giving the chat up, talking a little bit because the game is. They said they wanted a bit of a break, so while they're just we'll just chat about adaptive and how some people are way better than me. Oh, this is going to annoy me, isn't it? Oh, it's like I didn't realize it was slightly over. Nobody told me this. I must have bumped it. There we go. 34 pixels, baby. Depends on if Not Tonight would prefer to take Guadalupe out of Quickdraw's hands or for the comfort of their own. I think that is true. I think he could have called 6 though, and 7 was. It depends on who's. Oh wait, who was first player? The loser of the last game decided, so Not Tonight decide. Yeah, you take it at 8. You let him take it at 8. That's sorry. Then that is definitely the right call. Discards Tide Warp in this situation. Why? Is there a reason for it? It's a pip, no? They know more than I do. Yeah. Wow. She just played Fouling Strike into Tribute into Imperium. I take it back. You're all right. Streamer unaware. No, I think that was a good turn. I still think Tide Warp should have been played. I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. That's like a free Free tide. No chains. Unless, and then they're all tied up would get an extra amber. No, it wouldn't have, because it's the other way around. Don't worry. Yeah, there's more than I know. I think it's because of this turn. I think the all tied up was coming, and so they knew that they couldn't play the tide warp, because if they did, it'd come back to their turn, and because it raises the tide that turn, doesn't it? No, it doesn't matter. That was an extra amber. Red alert, nice. Tachyon pulse here. A bit unfortunate. But you got to play all the cards. That's the thing with when you're in on chains as an adaptive, is that regardless of how important some cards are, you really need to go and shed these chains, because it's such a difficult thing to do, because there's some important pieces that you have to know when to hold, when to not hold. Yeah, I think you're correct. I think that Quickdraw knows far better than I do about how the chains work. Just saying, he'd be in a 5 amber, that's all. It does. It does. It definitely does. Like, that is why. That is why. It is definitely why he is not. He's trying to force the chain interaction so he can always have the tide. It's just that he'd be on check. That's my only thing, is I put forward. Output device here is fantastic, because you really need to start to handcraft when you're behind in chains. That's why I think this deck works in adaptive, because the chain, setting up this tide, kind of, if you're not the winning deck, you kind of have a free tide. And then Ulfbert device stops handcrafting for those chain decks, because she really needs to handcraft here. There's probably at least, I would say there's at least one Star Alliance card, and it delays that draw with a Calvin there. And I know that's a little thing, but every Star Alliance card matters. Every handcrafting turn matters. Sorry, I've been a little unwell, so I'm having a throat lozenge. Tau Vapors. Wow. Wow. Don't worry about chains. Who they? Not tonight. Who dis? She is ready to come into this game. Doesn't matter what chains she has. She's just going to just draw the efficiency and get into a really nice position. Yes, she's behind on the amber. Perhaps she was hoping she'd draw an Edi here to take Not Tonight off check. To take Quickdraw off check. Yeah, but I didn't say anything. You didn't clip it, so let me know when you clip it. Then we can start talking. And then fights with a minigroup think tank. I think that is a good call. Playing Jar Goggle. Oh my goodness. Could not have asked for more efficiency. Actually, she could have. She could have gotten asked. Well, Titan Guardian too. And now Edi. Watch it. Watch it. Watch it. Bam! Holy moly. Really setting up that Logos turn. Doesn't get to have sorry. Tau Manning chains. No untamed card here. No Deepwater Gruin to set up for the infighting. Actually, even better, she could have. The Quickdraw could have fought with the infighting and then shuffled it in the deck with the. Oh man, my names have been. Then the herd. There we go. The music's just got me pumped. I love this game. I love this game. And I love the game that I'm listening to. I love the community. Keyforge is fantastic. Quickdraw quickly goes into Logos. Raise the tide here. Perfectly in time for the Hydro Cataloger. Hopefully raising the tide at some point. Interesting. Oh, the Ulfbert device stops the Logos turn. I love that card. I nearly built... I know this sounds strange right now, but I nearly built an alliance deck around double Ulfbert device. Because I think the pod had also a lateral shift in the same house. I was like, yeah. Yeah. Ghost Star Alliance, Reaps with the Calvin. Hoping to draw into the... What's the card called? My goodness. I know this. There you go. Tachyon Pulse. Perfectly timed. Killing both those artifacts. Allows for no advantage for the Hydro Cataloger for Quickdraw. Disallowing that Tachyon, the Ulfbert device, to stop the Logos turns. Really forcing Quickdraw into needing to draw into some creature control. Otherwise, he's just going to get stomped by this Logos board. Although I believe that next turn, Quickdraw will be playing the... Again, the names. What is wrong with me? This... Technobabble. He's going to be playing some Technobabble next turn. He hasn't played Star Alliance in 2 turns. Light of the Archons onto the Edeye, making it even stronger than it was before. The Voltron's going to be the Edeye this time. And it's going to get warded. Nope, it's going to ward the Medic Ingram. Sorry. I think that's good for the longevity of the game, is to go with the Medic Ingram, because there's not a lot of creature control in Quickdraw's deck. So, warding the Medic Ingram allows for future plays. The question is, does Quickdraw have the creature control here? Good point. And at 4 power, it is outside of Thin the Herd range. However, it's not outside of it infighting into a Thin the Herd. Which he did. He got infighting. Does he get Thin the Herd? Ooh, good play, because the Thin the Herd, the playing the Untamed creature killed his own creature. Then he allowed him to Thin the Herd everything except for Titan Guardian. And his own creature. What a beautiful turn from Quickdraw. Perfectly set up with creature control. Then Not Tonight goes back into Logos. I was expecting a Saurian's turn here with a bunch of tributes, perhaps even a Crassosaurus. However, just one Edeye will get Quickdraw out of check position. Sad turn. Unfortunately, although that turn was so beautiful, so clean, it just saves a whole new turn because that Crassosaurus is coming. And then draws 2 cards of Titan Guardian. She's almost further through the deck than Quickdraw is, and she's been chained for 8 chains. Does she go for Cutthroat here? Did she draw it? Or is it still stuck in the deck, which is going to be a hassle for later with the lack of... not the lack of Logos cards here, actually. Or I think she drew the second Edeye. The Edeye that she just... No, that was... Minigroup Think Tank is what she was thinking about. 10 amber. What an unfortunate position with all three, or 2 out of 3 tributes to go. And the Crassosaurus. And this, oh my goodness. Do you know what was really beautiful about that logo stone that she displayed with the Titan Guardian? Guess what's the highest powered creature? 4. How big is Strix? 4. What does Tribute do? Bam. She's going to play, oh my goodness. She's going to play Strix and then play a bunch of Tributes and then play the, what's it called? The Tricerian Legionary. If she's drawn that, what a position to be in. There's no crit control left, actually. Guadalupe, sorry. Thin Fighting's gone. Thin the Herd's gone. Oh, final analysis. Okay. Oh my goodness. Is she about to do it? Or is she going to go Crassasaurus first? Oh my goodness. What did I say? What did I say? Oh my goodness, what did I say? I planned this. I said this was gonna happen, and then Tricerian. Oh, I predicted it perfectly. What a line that was! That was so beautiful. Playing that Logos turn doesn't matter. It's watered. There's no way to kill that final analysis in Logos. The kill with the final analysis to kill the Strix. That killing with the Titan Titan Guardian was beautiful. The fact that she didn't archive the tributes and stuff through, and just archiving probably Star Alliance cards. I believe there's a Crassasaurus in there. Was beautiful. I don't think you could have asked for a better line to follow that Logos turn. My goodness. He's not out of the game, though. He's not out of the game because he can still take... Is it? How much will it be? It'll be at... Forges perfectly for that. But now he's on 7, Amber. The Edeyes are back, by the way. Can't go Saurians because she just plays Saurians. Oh no, Ulfbert's not on the board. I don't know what I'm saying. The question is, right, does she go for another one? Because there's no way to kill it. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. My goodness. My goodness. I need to go make a lottery ticket now. I can predict the future. My goodness. Chelonia here. Perhaps playing a Mookling here to at least delay the game one more turn. No, we cannot. That will be game. What a line that Not Tonight took to win this game. Yeah, she has some really nice turns with Logos. She actually did this so damn well. There was not a lot that Quickdraw could have done. I think Quickdraw played that game pretty well. Honestly. Oh, it's not over yet. Somehow Quickdraw has returned. The Submersive Principal's still alive, right? How do you... Okay. It's not over. It's not over. I thought it was over. Because Quickdraw was like, hey, look, he said GG, right? Isn't that how, if someone says GG, we gotta just accept it? Accept it. Quick, accept the GG. Man, these have been some fantastic games. I'm sorry, my chair fell. Okay, but. I don't know what she's gonna do, right? Has she played the Knowledge is Power? I know it was the right call. Was it fully the right call? Had she had, yeah, if she had fought the Edai, that was game. Because on a 1, 2, you have 5 Amber on there instead of 6, and you have 1 less Amber here. So you're on check for that. So you only need 1 card. So yeah, it's not over. Knowledge is Power, ready? Bang. Well, Webhole into Edai. My goodness. And now Knowledge is Power? And now Knowledge is Power? My goodness. And then you get Thorium Plasmate. Oh my goodness. Submersive Principle now. Oh, it won't even be enough. Is there a second Edai that we haven't seen? Yeah, there is. My goodness. So we're gonna get, hopefully, Submersive, and then a second Edai. No? What do we get? I think he's just gonna end it. Technobabble, stunning the Edai. Plays Teresa. Ooh, Valmart. Oh, fights with the Deepwater Gruin. Getting all that Amber back. Xeno training. Sorry, I thought this game... What happened? Did I miss something? Beautiful. What a line. It is not an over game, guys. Why are we saying this game was over? I wasn't saying it, I swear. Don't play Chrysosaurus. Why? I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, yeah. That while the Edai 1 turn late, 1 turn earlier, for sure, was massive. Look, she doesn't call archives. Don't pull your archives. Just keep it there. Let him pay 15. And then just go into a turn that allows you to kill off... wrong deck. We haven't seen the Quintrino Flux, correct? Or have we? No. Man. What do you want to play? I think you won the Edai there, so you have to kill 2 and 5s. Can you play a 2-powered creature or a 4-powered creature? Yeah, 15 for keys. Not nice. Zap! Kapow! Why not kill the Edai? Was it only 1? Did 1 damage? Oh, I did just kill everything? Oh, okay. She's just going for the best way to win. Not the right call. There's a Submersive Principle, and there's an Edai. That wasn't the right call. Submersive, Edai. She's playing too quick. She should have zapped the Edai. Yeah, Submersive. Yeah, no. Instead of 15 or what it was, and then Edai. Mecha Boy, Edai. I swear there's another one. I'm pretty sure there's a second one. There it is. This game's not over. What does she do? Okay. I mean, that's all his amp control. 1, 2, 3, 4, right? What's left? There's nothing left, right? I just need to stop saying that. Ah, you fight and read. No, just okay. Go logos. Tao Tao. Oh, Ulfbert device. You can't. No, it's not Ulfbert. That looks so similar to Ulfbert. Okay, Tao Tao, Tao Tao. Knowledge is power, or Edai, or what? Playing. Jug Goggle. And then can you kill it? And then Thorium Plasmate? No. Edai? I need this time to predict a bam. Every time. All the time. Okay. I mean, the likelihood that she has Kip now is pretty high. He's going to go Untamed here, because he's going to go a Witch of the Dawn to get the Edai. Maybe room for a Data Forge walk-off. She should have taken the Tide there. Then, if that's the line. This game's not over. Thin the Herd would be amazing. I say a card, and then it appears. I've done it like literally 5 times in a row. Enchelonia, Witch of the Dawn, to get Edai maybe? Come on. No. All tied up. This game's not over. Data Forge. She needs to not go for the Kip. The only line she should be taking is the Crassosaurus line. She put Tribute underneath the Jug Goggle too. What's happening? This game is... You can't go for the Kip. You can't go for the Kip line. You have to take Quickdraw off check. You have to play Crassosaurus now. This music could not be more perfect. No, there's no fake drama. You just gave up. You gave away that you don't have Data Forge. You just gave it away that you don't have Data Forge. Unless it's a bait. Unless he's just trying to rile me up. Because he knows how to push my buttons. Data Forge here will be the most beautiful line. The question is, does he have final analysis as well? I'm so interested, right? I'm really interested in this game because I think that... Oh, don't go Kip. Sanitation Engineer. You have to have the other Edai. Right? Oh my gosh. That card is so freaking annoying. Oh my gosh. Don't take him off. Don't take the check either. Don't take the tide. No, don't take the tide! You want him to pay the 15, right? Maybe that's right. You know what? Maybe it's the right call. Here's the line. Fight with Chelonia. Fight with Gruen. Fight with Miliovi. Ah, that's such a bad line. I'm really invested. Why am I this invested? What's happening? This game is not over. It is over if... No, okay. If she doesn't have Crassosaurus and a way to ward it, then it's a close game. Then it's still Quickdraw's game. The likelihood of that happening is really damn low. Of that not happening is really damn low. He should have. She should have a way to ward Crassosaurus. Or at least ward it and protect it with a taunt. And the issue here is that Quickdraw needs to kill the Edai and to win the game, risking 2 extra draw from Titan Engineer. If there is some way to move it around, perhaps discarding the infighting was the wrong call. No, he wanted to get through the deck. It was the right call. But doing that would have meant that he only has to fight with 2 cards and he gets to rip with 1. But you didn't kind of know that. And Edai's probably also back in the hand. The one that he shuffled in. I think he has to double fight. The question is, does he have Witch of the Dawn? Oh, I missed the cloaking dongle. I would have missed it. Okay. So there's no way to kill the Edai. Then it's Star Alliance, Technobabble. Nice. Stunning this Medic Ingram. You don't want to go too high on the... oh, you have to take the Tide because of Mecha Boy is a problem. Do you just need to go Logos and Reap 3 times? No, you can't do that. If you do that and you take the Tide, then he's off check. If you have Knowledge is Power, that's game. If you can Knowledge is Power and Reap 3 times. What Amber Control? That. The Edai. There is no other Edai. If you had Witch of the Dawn that turn, I would have gone Untamed to just bring back the Edai. There's nothing left, right? I think she just needs to, unless Knowledge's Power is not in it. Like, it's a pretty obvious call if Knowledge's Power is in your hand. I think it's, but the fact that it's making her take this long to decide what she wants to do. Okay. Am I right? Is there going to be a misplay? Jagogo. Jagogo. What do you archive underneath it? Nothing important. Plays the second Edi. And then Knowledge's Power. Then you don't have to take the tide. She didn't need to do that. But whatever, she did. There's nothing left. I can show you what left I'm control-wise. A Mukling and his inner training. Final analysis here. Makes the tide high. Play some Ember, play some creatures. Obviously not going to play a Bilge or Warden. Final analysis. Final analysis. Final analysis. Final analysis. Nope. Oh, nice line. Now final analysis. Please, I want to see it. Yes! Data Forge. Imagine if they were so close to the key that they could find analysis twice. Wouldn't that have been cool? Go! Go, you bilged idiot. Okay, there we go. This game. Well played. For those that said that the 8 chains was not even enough, that they should have gone to higher, congratulations to you. Congratulations to Not2night for playing a almost beautiful game and nearly throwing the end, thinking that she was close to forging, giving Quickdraw 2 extra keys and a little bit more drama for us, so it was a little bit more exciting for an end, but she managed to pull it out anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, players, for playing. This has been Astron624 and commentating a beautiful game between Not2night and Quickdraw of the Keyforge Team League, the adaptive game. I'm off to bed. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys in another time. And I'm out.